G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Flash Like Crazy. This review's been a long time coming. Today I'm finally reviewing the Reaver Arms Citadel. Let's check it out. All right, so just before we go to the table for some table talk, very quickly I just want to show you that I actually got this light tattooed to me. It is a brilliant light and that's why I wanted to get it tattooed to me. I like tattoos and I like custom lights, and I have two custom lights tattooed to me, the Citadel and the DC0. Both of them are just impeccable lights. Today it's all about the Citadel though. So before we go to the table, just want to show you how they look in the hands from a front-on view. So again, quite compact, very compact lights. Work really well in the cigar grip hold because of that phenomenal taper that you get there. We'll take a closer look at that at the table. And as you can see, it's got two different clips. So this clip was the older clip that Jesse, the maker, started to sell them with before he then upgraded to the milled clip. It is a personal preference depending on what you like. Personally, I actually like the older clip to use as EDC because I wear jeans a lot, and due to that clip, it just slips in and out of your jeans really, really easy. So I have Samsung 5000K emitters in here, and I have 219C 5000K emitters in here. I don't know what secondary color is in this because I don't use it because this is my everyday carry, so I don't need the secondary color. Whereas this, I have amber secondaries, and I do use them at nighttime basically every single night. So let's head on over to the table and then we'll go to some night shots after that. Alrighty, so this has been a long time coming, this video, because I got my first Reaver Citadel maybe a year or two ago and fell in love with it. I got it from a friend of mine, Josh Lewis. Shout out to Josh. And I fell in love with the make of them, just the size of it, the compact stature of it, and just the unique look. It just spoke to me so much. So this has been a long time coming, this video. I haven't wanted to just rush it. I've bought and sold a lot of Citadels, but since I got my first one, I've always had at least one. I've never been left with none. You know, we in this hobby, we buy lights and then realize, you know, may have spent too much money, so we sell off a light to, you know, pay some bills or whatever, and then get some money back and buy some more lights and da-da-da. But I've always had a Reaver Citadel in my possession ever since owning my first one, and they're just absolutely beautiful. Now, I should actually use the correct name, which is Reaver Arms. So the Reaver Arms Citadel. Reaver Arms is the company name. Jesse is the name of the maker. He is a sensational person. I mean, I don't know him. I've never met him face to face, but from talking to him, he's one of the real ones, and yeah, really good guy. So it is an absolute honor to own his stuff. Very similar to people like you know, Charles, Josh, Dawson, Geordie, Jeff Sapp. All these makers are just phenomenal people who I've come to chat with over the years, and just absolutely legendary people who I feel privileged to own their work. So when you do, now look, Jesse is not exactly making them regularly at the moment. He's, you know, doing other stuff, but when you do buy one of these lights on the secondary market, it's hopefully going to come with things like this. So a card, so a card that comes with it. It's just going to let you know like what emitters, what type of material, what type of driver, things like that. Just, you know, the standard maker cards. A thank you note as well, and the how-to on, in fact, if I zoom in, so the how-to program. Now, most of us who are into custom lights are going to know how to program, or are going to know their way around a drag and driver, which is what it is in these two, which is what typically the Citadel uses. Now, a lot of people have modded their Citadels to use the H17F driver, the Dr. Jones driver. That Dr. Jones driver is normally for people who don't like secondaries really, because apart from that, there's not too much of a difference, except the Dr. Jones driver is a little bit more programmable. It does have a lower moonlight mode and things like that. But I love the Dragon driver. I think it's great. And in my EDC Citadel, I don't have the secondaries on because I don't need them. But in my Zirconium Citadel, I do. And the reason that I do is because they're amber. So that's perfect for nighttime. And I'm also going to show you the difference in optics that I've put on these lights. So if you can see here, see how in the Zirconium Citadel, it's a much more frosted optic. So that's going to really, really disperse the light more into more flood. Whereas in this optic, it's only just slightly frosted because I do want a little bit more throw. Now, the main emitters in the Titanium Citadel is Samsung LHD or LDH. Oops, sorry, don't know why I did that. I meant to do that. LDH35 or something like that. Very bright emitters, very, very strong emitters. A lot of people don't like them because they don't like the greenish tint that it puts out. Personally, that doesn't bother me. I actually really like it, and I really like the color rendering that the Samsung emitters offer. 219C are also brilliant. They give a really, really nice, clean, white light, and especially in the 5000K, I think it's perfect. So, you know, an argument could be made that this engine that I have in the Zirconium is the perfect do-it-all engine because I have the amber secondaries for nighttime. And again, if I just turn this light off, see how evenly flooded that secondary light is? That's because of the ultimate flood optic that I've got in there, as well as the glow ring. So the glow ring works really well to help disperse the secondary light as well, because the glow ring goes over the secondary, I'll just zoom in so we can look properly, goes over the secondary emitters so that it floods it, as well as now using this ultimate floody optic. So you can see the difference very clearly in terms of the flood optic there. So let's do a bit of a size comparison. So we've got here the CWF Arcadian in the single emitter setup. Very awesome light. And then I will put the DC1 next to it on this side, and then the Citadel next to it on this side as well, so you can see the difference. So the Citadel is a very compact triple. It takes a smaller battery, so it takes a 16340 battery, not an 18350 battery. So where you lose out there is you gain a more compact light, you lose in battery runtime. However, if you have a spare 16340 charged up, ready to go, I mean, it's not a problem at all. So we'll take a look at the titanium first and just have a look at just the phenomenal machining and the design that this light is. It's just spectacular. I mean, to not fall in love with it immediately would just be weird. And what happened to me is after I bought my first one from Josh, I just fell in love with them, and I just went crazy on them for a while, and I've experienced several different materials, most materials actually, except for Dharma steel on this. And I've now finally settled with a really nice user and a really special one. Although the engine in this, like I said, could be argued that it's the perfect engine because you've got amber secondaries for nighttime and then 219C 5000K for daytime, so it's kind of perfect. So they are really, really nice. I've added a little glow ring here on the EDC one as well. So they're really nice to hold. What I really love, and now look, I don't believe that these were designed with this type of bezel to be used as a strike bezel. So I'm by no means condoning violence or anything like that. However, when I am, I never go anywhere without my titanium Citadel, and whenever I am out, it is just nice to kind of know that if I forget my pointer finger because it is a small light, but if I kind of hold the light, starting with my middle finger wrapping around the tail end like that, I do have this kind of like hammer fist, block of titanium ready to go. Now, I know for most Americans that might sound really weird because you guys are allowed to carry certain things on you for self-defense, whereas in Australia we are not. We are not allowed to carry any item for the purpose of self-defense, which I know is a very foreign concept to a lot of people, but that's just the world we lived in down here. So having a torch that could also potentially double as like a hammer fist protection tool is really cool. And a police officer is never going to take this off me because I would never say I'm going to use it for self-defense. I would just say it's a torch with an absolutely brilliant design. So currently I've got the old clip on the titanium, whereas this is the milled newer clip. And I've got also a titanium milled newer clip here and also a titanium old clip here. So the milled clips I think are great for functionality as well as looks. But the older style clips, because they've got that little raised lip there and just the way they're made, they slide over your jeans pocket like a dream. And that's why I like them, because I normally pocket my lights using the pocket clip. I normally use pocket clips more than not. So that's why I like them. So I'm just gonna change this just for the hell of it back into the titanium standard pocket clip as well, because this one's obviously a blue anodized, and I'm just gonna change it back to the titanium just so it's all titanium, and I'll just do that on camera because why not, kind of thing. But it's a really, really nice pocket clip to use, guys. So if you do currently own a Citadel, you're probably most likely going to have the milled clip on it because Jesse swapped to milled clips. But if any of you do have a chance to pick up one of these older clips, if you are someone like me who enjoys pocketing your lights using the clip over your jeans or whatever, then I would highly suggest, if given the chance, to get one of these clips, because like I said, you can pocket it with one hand. It just slides in and out over your jeans. I wear jeans a lot, so it slides over your jeans just with ease. Very, very nice, smooth action in and out of the pocket. So that's really cool. And great. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, so now the design, I'll go to the Zirconium for this. So the design on it works really, really well. So we've got a really nice thin taper here, and this is, I believe, why it requires a 16-340, because it's very compact in terms of length or height, but also this beautiful taper here tapers in so much that it wouldn't fit an 18-350 battery. Now, I'm happy with that because the design of it is flawless in my opinion. This taper up here works really well for putting your pointer finger over when you hold the light. Now, the way I normally use the Reaver Citadel when I'm actually using it out and I'm out is I'll normally click it on, or I'll use this because it's got more of light. So I'll normally click it on and then shift into cigar grip. So this has a very natural cigar grip feel to it because of that very, very, I have to say, ingenious taper here. So, if we look at the CWF, for example, this has got a very kind of very, what would you call it? Like immediate taper, like it's like same length and then boom, taper straight in there. Whereas this is more of a subtle one, but because of how thin it gets, the cigar grip hold makes it very, very easy to hold. I mean, that's not going anywhere. That is really locked into my hand, and it just makes it really easy to use with a cigar grip. So I love the taper, really do. Also, when I have it pocketed and it goes up to about there, grabbing it to pull it out, you kind of slide your hand down and you just feel that taper. And when you feel the taper, you clamp down and pull up, and it's just so nice. It's just such a different feel to, you know, say like the DC1 as well, which has got that just immediate drop off of the taper into the body, as opposed to that, you know, subtle kind of, I don't know, like ramped taper, I guess I would call it. Very, very cool design at the end with the bezel and the way that it's crenulated like this, and you know, strike bezel, quote unquote. The design is it's just such a flawless design. It's like it's one of the most unique designs ever. A lot of people, including myself, do struggle with a bit of OCD because sometimes if you know, over tighten it, then it's gonna sit like that, and that's not fun at all. So you want to just back that off a little bit so that it sits, you know, pretty flush with the flutes. However, you can actually fix that with different sized O-rings. So if I just show you the O-ring, so again, that's the driver, so the CWF Dragon, brilliant old school driver. But so see the O-ring here. So if I put a slightly thicker O-ring here, for example, then it would make tightening it and over tightening it, much more difficult, which would mean that it would be easier to line up the flutes and not go past that line. Whereas right now I can line them up like this, but I use, like I said, I carry this everywhere and I use it every day. When I come home, it's normally just a little bit past the flutes, which is the only thing that kind of, you know, can get annoying for someone who's so OCD and wants everything lined up the way it is. But I think a lot of us in this hobby are like that anyway. And so that's kind of a trade-off, to have such a unique design with the flutes going all the way through to the head. You're gonna have to deal with the fact that, you know, sometimes that's gonna be off center, and you just fix it. Yeah, and like I said, you can get a bigger O-ring or a smaller O-ring, and it's going to be the difference between, you know, over tightening it or not being able to tighten it too much. So you just want to play around with different sized O-rings. So the zirconium is much heavier than the stonewashed titanium, but the zirconium is absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that. It has, if it's with the Dragon driver, you're going to get secondaries, either blue, red, green, or amber. Amber's a bit rarer than the rest of them, but blue, red, or green. CWF actually sells a new driver for the Citadel on CWF's website. In fact, I'll just grab that. And so that looks like this. So that is the Quantum Dragon. And this offers you, this is 219C 5000K again, but this offers you a choice between red, blue, or green. It doesn't offer you amber, but red, blue, or green it offers. And that's awesome. So I'm going to link this actually at Charles's website. So if you want a spare Citadel pill engine made up, then you can buy it directly from him, and you can then set it to whatever secondary color. Because personally, I think the most useful secondary colors are either amber or red for nighttime around the house use, obviously, in my opinion. So I don't really know what more to really say about them. Obviously, we're going to go to night shots, but I got this light tattooed to me as I did the Okluma DC0, because they're just a phenomenal light that just means so much more to me than just, you know, lighting my way. There's nothing out there like this, just like there's nothing out there like the DC0, and the design time that would have gone into this would be just enormous, because the troubleshooting of different issues. It houses a McClicky switch, so, you know, McClicky switches here are this long, so, you know, the McClicky switch goes down to, hang on, let's zoom in again. You know, so the McClicky switch stops about there, goes down to there. So then you've got to house a 16340 battery and then have room for the engine and the optic and everything like that. So the design is just so ingenious, and, you know, the measurements and everything that would have gone through it. But I mean, have you seen anything like that? There's just nothing out there like that. And, you know, any you know, self-respecting custom collector would have to have a Reaver Arms Citadel in their collection. Now, I don't consider myself a collector as much because that becomes very expensive, but I certainly am a user of these custom lights, and the Reaver Arms Citadel is just one that I use just all the time, especially with these Samsung emitters. Like I said, I know there's not a lot of people who like the Samsung emitters, or maybe there are, but I am somebody who absolutely adores these Samsung emitters. They are so bright, as you'll see in the night shots. Okay, look, I think I have rambled on a bit. Let's just do a size just so we can see. So 9.5 centimeters tall, guys, which is, I mean, bloody brilliant. The head, the thickest part of the light, is a little over 2 centimeters, and that'll be the same at the tail, I'm guessing. I know the tail's slightly thinner, which is even cooler. That's so cool. It's less than 2 centimeters. It's, probably 1.8, 1.7 centimeters, which is just so good for your cigar grip hold. So bloody good. I think that's it. They're just fantastic. Let's give them away. Actually, we'll see how much they weigh. Both of them have the batteries in them, so 16340 button top batteries, and the titanium fully loaded is 109.1 grams, and the oil slick zirconium is 138 grams, almost exactly. So 21 grams difference there. All right, let's go check out how they do at night, and then we will come back for final thoughts. See you in a sec. All right, here it is, the one, the only Reaver Citadel. That's the brightest on the Samsung emitters there. Look at that, as if that's not enough. That's the brightest too. I mean, you don't even need that. You could just go that, for example. I think that's like 50%. Very useful. Look at that. 100%. The flood is just bloody gorgeous and super useful. Okay, so that's the Samsung emitters. And this bad boy with the amber secondaries is the 219C 5000K. So as you can see, not as bright, maybe more of an indoor floody light, whereas the Samsungs are definitely better for EDC because they are just so much brighter. Well, that's the brightest there, but still Samsungs seem to be brighter than the 219Cs, definitely. But I mean, look at that, for a floody, that's bloody perfect. Decent battery life too if you can find yourself a good 16340. That'd be about 30%, 50%, 100%. One of the faves right here. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. All right, see ya. All right, so look, final thoughts. I mean, I obviously have no cons about this. Even the fact that they run on 16340s, which die quicker than 18350s in a triple, pulling a lot of juice, I still wouldn't change this at all. I wouldn't change it because in order to house an 18350, you would need to change the design. That taper wouldn't be as dramatic. The light would need to be slightly larger. I mean, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change a single thing about this light. I think it is not only a work of art, but it is an absolute genius light. This is, it's just held a place in my heart. I've always gone, I've never left the house with this, and Okluma DC0 as well. Those two lights I just don't leave the house without. I just don't. I feel naked if I don't have them. So look, if you are interested in it, it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, at the moment to get one directly from the maker. He is tied up in his other job. However, when these show up on the secondary market, guys, do your due diligence, get your vouchers and all that type of stuff. But highly recommend jumping on them because they're a phenomenal light. Also, I'm going to link down below so I'm going to link Charles CWF's website to get the the Citadel pill if you want to be able to swap secondary colors as well. And I bought one of them because I wanted red, secondary color red, and I didn't have red. And so that's why I bought it. But I'm also going to link the torture test that the maker Jesse did with one of these titanium Citadels that he did years ago when he made it. You will be shocked if you haven't seen the torture test already. That guy throws it at the top to the top of his factory roof and it lands on the ground. He belts it with a metal pipe a bunch of times, and the only thing that stops working is the battery of all, which has got nothing to do with the design of the light anyway. So that's just fantastic. This is one of the toughest lights out there on the market. And like I said, if you like triples and you like compact light, I highly, highly recommend the Reaver Arm Citadel. It is just a top-notch custom light made by an absolute legend. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope I wasn't ranting too much. Until next time, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.